ongoing success of your business is down to two of your most valuable assets. These assets are at constant risk of being stolen or modified by cybercriminals. Luckily, there are many things you can put in place to stop this from happening. My name is Mike Pearce and this is my series on information security. Every week I'll be bringing you some simple ideas and some not so simple ideas, but still important, on how to protect your business from cybercriminals who want to use your data and your assets for their own nefarious ends. You might be thinking, oh God, Mike, what a boring topic, I'm not interested in this. And you might be right. It is a little bit of a dry topic, but I am going to try and make it fun, and I am definitely going to make it interesting, and I will try and make it applicable to your business too. While it is dry, you should care about this stuff, because information security at its heart is about keeping your business safe. And a safe business is a successful business, long-term profitable and scalable. So what are these two really super important assets that you have in your business? Those two things are your data and the processes that either consume or generate that data. And data is absolutely vital to the running of your business. Without it, you couldn't do anything. Like any business, any size, any organization in the world is run on data. It's either in a database of some kind that you use online, in a SaaS tool like Monday.com or Jira or Confluence or something like that. It might be in task management tools like Trello or Jira or Asana, something like that. It's going to be in your productivity tools, things like Gmail or Outlook. It's going to be stored in document storage like Google Docs or SharePoint or Confluence, and it's even going to be written down. Bits of paper, forms you fill in, things that have wet signatures. This valuable asset that you have, data, is generated by the processes and the procedures that you have internally to manage your business. These assets, your data and the processes that generate data, are fundamental to the running of your business. Without them, you likely struggle to be successful, and in the absolute worst case, your business may even fail. This is where something like information security comes in to help you safeguard these assets. You've probably heard of cybersecurity. It's a buzzword. You'll have seen it all over the web. If you're in technology, you've probably seen 100 adverts on Instagram or YouTube or TikTok. If you're working in technology, you will undoubtedly have been advertised some cybersecurity product. Probably heard of information security too, but maybe less. And the thing is that cybersecurity and information security are not interchangeable words. Cybersecurity is a subset of information security. Cybersecurity is about keeping your devices safe, your laptops, your phones, your servers, and that kind of thing. And information security is one level above. Cybersecurity is part of information security, but it's not everything. Information security is about how you look after your documents, how you manage your documents, how you look after your business workflows, that kind of thing.
On rewatching this video, I've decided that this section isn't clear enough. So in summary, the difference between cybersecurity and information security is that cybersecurity is focused on protecting against digital threats, and it's a part of information security. Whereas information security covers all forms of data protection, whether it's digital, physical, or even spoken. Anyone would have thought this was my first video.
What would happen if you had a data incident or a security incident? All of that kind of process and workflow fits under the banner of information security. So how do you keep your data safe from those that would misuse it and leave you with financial, reputational, or even regulatory headaches? You shouldn't be reusing passwords either. Every single thing you log into should have a completely different password. And if you find passwords difficult to remember, there's two strategies you can use. The first one, super simple, use a password manager. Something like 1Password or Bitwarden, really good at managing your passwords, but they can also generate passwords for you, so you don't have to go through the process of creating your own. The second strategy is to use a phrase. So I like to use the names of my favorite album. Let's say I wanted to use the name of the most recent Metallica album, 72 Seasons, as a password. I might use the phrase Metallica space 72 space seasons. But to make it even harder to guess, I'd make the M uppercase, the S uppercase, the 72 might have a space in it, I might add an exclamation mark at the end. But it becomes much easier to remember if it's something that you can say. The next tip is about access control, so making sure that the people of your organization only have access to the tooling and the data within those tooling that they need. Don't be too permissive. Don't give everybody access to everything. As convenient as that might be, it does open up some security holes and you will be vulnerable to breaches this way. Thirdly, and this one's pretty simple, there's plenty of tooling online for this, train your staff. Train them to recognize phishing attacks. Train them to recognize when they're the subject of a social engineering attack, and make sure that they understand what to do in these situations. If there's been a breach, make sure that they understand the process they need to follow. And the fourth tip is just to make sure all of your software and all your devices are up to date. If you've got a software update waiting on your phone or your laptop, don't hang around, just do it. If your browser's telling you that there's an update to be done, do that too, because these updates will bring in new security features and patch existing vulnerabilities that people have found in these softwares and devices. It's not just about the small stuff. It's also about implementing a robust information security management system to take care of your assets and to mitigate the risks that your business may encounter with those assets. You may have heard of ISO 27001. It's an international information security standard. It's wildly popular, and if you care about information security, it's probably a good idea to have a look at it and see whether you can implement it at your organisation. Originally created by the BSI, the British Standards Institute, in 1995, it was taken over by the ISO, the International Organisation Standard. I don't know why the acronym is the wrong way around. Probably something to do with the acronym being IOS. Apple may have a problem with that, who knows. The 27001 standard has been updated recently. It's now at 2022. It used to be 2013. A lot of organisations are still using 2013, which is fine, but 2022, you should be updating to that soon if you're using it. If you're not using it and you want to implement it, then 2022 is the version that you should be looking at. It's been simplified. There are 4 sections for the controls now, which makes things a little bit easier to understand. It's applicable to all kinds of businesses, doesn't matter how big it is. And it's there to support your business. It's not there to get in the way. So if you're a small business, you can have a much smaller framework. If you're a large business, you'll obviously have a much more larger and comprehensive framework. And it also depends on the number of staff you've got as well, the departments and all that kind of thing. It doesn't matter what you do, whether you create physical products, whether you create digital products, whether you're a service supplier, anything like that, it will be useful for you to implement an ISO 27001 framework. It helps your business take a much more robust and mature approach to looking after the data of both your customers and your employees. You don't have to get certified. Generally speaking, you will. At the end of the process, you'll be audited. If the auditor feels like your management system matches that the ISO 27001 describes, they'll issue a certificate. But you don't have to. Right? The key thing is about data security, it's about information security and making sure that your assets, your valuable assets, are safe. And frankly, an organisation that has an ISO 27001 certificate, or can even evidence that it aligns itself with ISO 27001, is going to be a much more attractive partner and a much more attractive vendor than those who are not. So it could help you win business. The great thing about ISO 27001 is it doesn't really tell you how to secure your data. That's entirely up to you. It simply tells you how to go about making your own version of an information security management system, an ISMS, that is unique and specifically designed for your organization, that allows you to protect your data but not get in the way of your business goals, and that's really important. ISO 27001 is designed to help you protect the confidentiality, integrity and availability to the right people of that data, enabling you to do business safe and comfortable, that nothing's going to go wrong and you're not going to have a breach, and if you do have a breach, that you can handle it properly. So grab a notepad and pen or a laptop and a keyboard, whatever you want to write this stuff down, and follow me as we go through this journey of making your business much more robust when it comes to information security. Over the next few weeks, I'll be walking through information security practices, and I'll be using the ISO 27001 standard to align with that. So if you follow along with me, implement some of the things that I'm suggesting, then by the end of this series, you may have an ISO 27001 framework put in place which will protect your business. I can almost guarantee that we'll have fun. To get you started, there's a couple of documents you can download from the comments below. They're not ISO 27001 specific, but if you implement this kind of stuff, then it will give you a really good foundation for getting started. So I listed 4 basic steps earlier on things you can do to secure your business. These documents go into a little bit more detail on how you can take action right now to keep your data and your processes and your employees safe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.